this distinguished panel, including from the world champion Golden State Warriors, Mr. Bob Myers. Andy Ellsberg comes to us from the Miami Heat. Donnie Nelson of the Dallas Mavericks. Dell Demps from the New Orleans Pelicans. And Daryl Morey from the Houston Rockets. All right, let's address the elephant in the room. That's this guy. Because you've got this team.
Sign up for this.
You've got this team that's gone to the finals 3 straight years. You've kept everybody together, and so now everybody else is kind of looking at this team and the team from the East, the Cleveland Cavaliers, not represented here, and trying to figure out where you are on your timeline and realistically where to go, moving forward, building for the future, etc. How do you assess it? How do you approach it?
Yeah, I think it's no different than it's ever been in history. There's always been super teams. You know, you go back to the Celtics of the 60s. I think it was in 63, they had 9 Hall of Famers on the team. You go into the Lakers and Celtics teams in the 80s. You know, the Sixers in the 80s. You know, the Bulls teams in the 90s. San Antonio, Lakers, Miami. There's been super teams throughout history. There's been probably one decade when we didn't have super teams was the 70s. And we wound up after tape delay at the end of that decade. So at the end of the day, I'm not so sure the super teams is the worst thing. There's always a champion, and at the end of the day, your job is to find a way to beat the champion. And that's what our job is.
When Andy and I were locking horns a couple years back in the finals, if you get in, you got a chance, you know. Went down to L.A., where nobody picked us to beat Kobe and the guys, and we ended up winning there. Went to Oklahoma City, and then when we locked up in the finals, we were just, man, we're happy we got, game 1 and then game 2, and momentum's a very interesting thing. And once you get into the dance, literally anything can happen.
I think Golden State is just terrible for the league. So,
break it up.
Break it up.
Good idea. There ought to be a law.
Split it into Golden and Warriors, and then the rest of us will have a chance. So it's tough. All our moves are. We're basically obsessed with chasing the Warriors right now. Of course, we can't even beat the Spurs. So it's we're really focused on how do we take that next step, and a lot of teams who aren't in the same spot are like building their powder to be ready when these guys hopefully fade a little bit. So
I think you try to go into it. We've for 22 years I've had the opportunity to work for Pat Riley, Mick Harrison, and I think every year we came into it said how do we put the best team together and have a chance to win. The goal is to compete, and I think you put together the best team you can. That hope to compete. You never know what can happen down the road where someone else can get beat. You may meet up with that team. You put yourself in a preparation to meet that team, but you simply try to put together the best team you can.
You're in the East.
And I played with the East, and we had Michael Jordan and the Bulls. And I remember everybody saying, "Hey, let's get 1 through 16." Then
that was a while ago.
I forgot about that.
Del, what's the calculus for you? I mean, you've got really good players.
Yeah.
But you're also, at least from the outside, it looks like you're still a ways away from competing for the conference championship.
Yeah, I mean, they set the bar really high, and but we embraced that challenge. And I know for our guys, we know we have a lot of work to do, and we're going to try to do it a little differently. It seems like the league's going small right now, and we don't know if we can beat people going small. And so we're going to try to beat people in a traditional way. There's a number of teams that have committed to playing big, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to commit to playing big. We got DeMarcus and Anthony, and it's great seeing those two guys play together and find a gel. And then we just brought back Drew Holiday, so we're excited. We know we have a lot of work to do, but we feel good about the direction we're going in.
And you're sitting watching all this, going, what?
Yawning? Can I tell you this? Can I tell you this story though? On draft day, I'm pulling my hair out. Everybody's trying to make deals and everything, and so I call Bob up, and I can hear these balls bouncing in the background. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And I'm playing pickup basketball right now.
That's the key. That is the key.
And I'm like, "You're playing pickup basketball," and I can hear somebody in the background like, "Come on, Bob!"
Yeah. That is the key. It's the balance. Makes you think clearly and focus. No, I don't. I mean, look, we didn't. I don't even like that. I get it. It's in our narrative now. It's in our consciousness. Super team.
For the record, I didn't bring it.
I know you didn't. I know, but it's there. It's fine. We didn't set out to create a super team. I think that's crazy. When we were 5 years ago, we were looking up at Miami, or the Lake or Spur, whoever, and we didn't. You don't quit. What can you do? You try to do it the best you can and compete and build, and every decision you make hopefully makes you incrementally better, whether it's 5%, 10. For us, it was, I inherited Steph Curry from when I showed up, but you draft Klay Thompson, you say, well, that makes us a little bit better. You make a trade, that makes it a little bit better. We got fortunate that Iguodala wanted to come on board. Now we're a little bit better. You grab a couple vets, you put yourself in position in the draft, you get lucky and get a Draymond Green, and all these things, and then Durant was completely unexpected. Luckily, we got one without him. But yeah, it's not something that you sit there and necessarily plan for. Or everybody sits in a position and says, "Wow, if we could get that free agent." Usually, it doesn't happen. Whether it's good or bad, I don't know. I don't think any of us. I think all of us understand the decisions we make 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago lead to now. The tiniest little. Andy and I talked about it when LeBron and Bosh came. It was because they drafted Wade, and he was so good and won a championship, and he loved that culture so much. He went out and said to LeBron and Bosh, "Come on, man, this is the place to come." So the decision to draft Dwayne Wade was the pivotal decision. It wasn't just, and they did a great job clearing cap space and getting all those guys to buy in, but the decisions we make years prior lead to where we are today. So somebody's making decisions right now. They're going to be impactful in 3-4 years, and that person's going to be sitting here.
The year after we win the championship, that's when Dwayne has the opportunity to get an extension. It was the end of his third year, and all the players that year decided to take shorter deals to have free agents in the summer of 2010, and they told us they were going to take a shorter deal. Harsh decisions about having put yourself in that kind of position.
So Donnie, when you're putting together a roster, how many of those decisions are, we're going to try to be a little better this year, and how many of them in the back of your head are focused on 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line?
They're both all the time. I mean, whether you're drafting for the future,
sure,
but signing free agents, this is a perfect example, is flexibility and short